The 9th of July, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
Hey, Bill's coming in. Good morning, Phil.
Good morning.
Okay, so Tachrich Shel Shtarot. That's what we're up to. Right. Tachrich Shel Shtarot. First word in the line is Shmuel. It's about 11 lines from the top. After the two dots in the middle of the line, that's our caption, which is the subject matter for this section. Tachrich Shel Shtarot. Who would you like to read?
Yeah. If I can find
Hey.
it. Tachrich Shel Shtaros. If one finds a roll of documents, O Aguda Shel Shtarot V'Kule, or a bundle of documents, etc., he should return them. The Gemora elaborates. Tana Rabbanan, rabbis taught in a brisa. Kama hu tachrich shel shtarot. How many documents constitute a roll of documents? Shlosha keruvin zeh b'zeh. 3 rolled together. V'kama hi aguda shel shtarot. How many documents constitute a bundle of documents? Shlosha kishurin zeh b'zeh. 3 tied together. So the only difference between the roll and the bundle is whether they're tied or rolled.
Yeah.
The Gemora comments, Shamas Mina. One should learn from this. This Bryce's explanation of the Mishnah, Kasher Siman, that the type of knot used in tying together the bundle is considered an identifying mark.
Well, here we have a long Rashi.
Okay.
Okay. Wait a second. It's not. We're not up to the. We have one before the long Rashi.
Correct. Kruchin zeh b'zeh.
Kruchin zeh b'zeh. They're bundled up, this with this. The Zohu Siman, and that is the identifying mark, the Siman. Shabalimim, that the owners notnim behem, put on it. Zeh yachriz, this is tied, bundled together, Metzia, Yachriz, a Metzia Shtarot, that who announce that he's found Shtarot. Matzati, I found them. The Zel Yomer, and this one will say, Shali, and these are mine, Haim. The Shlosha Haim, and there are three of them, Kruchim, Haim, Zemizeh, that are tied together.
Okay, so
yeah, but there's a question of how do you know if they're all tied up? You don't know who, and there are three different documents. How can you? Each one can say my document's in it because you can't tell it's all tied up. How would you know whose it is? I mean, the only way that's tied up. The only one who could have tied it up would have been the. We have three ways of looking at it. That the borrower got it from three different people and tied it up, or the lender gave it to three different people and tied it up. I would think it would have to be the borrower got it from three different people. Makes more sense. Because otherwise, why would the lender tie it up? You know, he's giving it to different people.
Rashi's saying that the mere fact that they are kruchin zebazeh, that itself is a siman that the owner would give to the finder in order to receive his item. So Rashi says the finder is going to be machris. The finder is going to announce Metzia Shtaris Mitzasi. Metzia Shtaros Mitzasi. Ze Yachris Metzia. He will publicize the fact that he found it, and he'll say Shtaros Mitzasi. I found Shtaros. Ze Yomar, and this person will come along who thinks he lost, who lost them and thinks that these might be his. He'll say Shalihim. He'll say I'm claiming them to be mine. Shlosha hein kruchin zeh bezeh. And I'm giving a identifying characteristic of the shtaros that I lost, because I'm saying that there was three of them and they were all kruchim zeh bezeh. So just with that, without even knowing what his name is and what the name written on the shtaros is, we would give it to him because of the siman. He's bringing a siman to prove that they belong to him.
Wouldn't the finder have to undo the bundle, the knots, to find out what was inside, what the bundle was about?
Well, if the fact that their kruchim zeh bezeh is itself a siman, that's a sufficient siman to allow the finder to give it to this person who's claiming that it's his.
Okay.
Okay, let's see what Rashi has. A long Rashi over here. So must be that there's maybe it's not so simple as we're saying. We'll see. Rashi says.
Okay, well, this Rashi, Shma, learn from this that the kesher is siman, that the way he ties the knot identifies whose it is. So that tells you who to give it back to. Sheish kesherim, that there are knots, she'enon domim zeh lezeh, that are not similar from one to the other. It's not like it's specific. Not all knots are equal. But your Omar will say, kach kachu, so and so it is him, a sui, that did it.
Mm.
And if you don't say this, my simna, what simon would there be? Eicha haki, there is here the hapashut, the simple meaning, is ba'alma, the kasher, a simon, that the knot is the simon. Ubai ba'alma, it's needed by itself, it is. Mishnah, and you learn out from this, mehachi, from this, lo habshut, that it's not a simple thing, the pshat meaning, the Tani that taught Rabbi Chia, Gimel krachim, three in a bundle, zeb together, who aguda is one's wrapped and one is a bundle. The good is the bundle. The kara that are wrapped up are the simon, the kuleyama to everybody. Krachi, the wrapped up of the bundling of the as opposed to tied of the stara, one star to another stara. La'atzma by itself is kashurin or tied. Otam, Yachzir, you do return them. No, tied Yacha, that's not Yachzir, that's Yacha, one of them. Shlosham, it's tied like three. Yeah, no. Is Yacha, is three like in one.
Oh, so the point here is that we're discussing the issue of what exactly constitutes the siman over here. Is the siman that they are kruchim zeh b'zeh, or is the siman not that? The siman is the person that lost the thing and he's trying to get it back. He has to give. It's not enough that he says, "Oh, they were kruchim zeh b'zeh." He has to give a says that he has to identify the particular kesher that was used in tying these items together, and that is the identifying siman that's going to be a sufficient proof for us to give it back to him. Not simply that he comes and says, "Oh yes, they were all tied up together." No, what type of tie was used? What type of a knot was used in tying them all together? So that's the Gemora says Shma Mina Kesher Siman. The Gemora is at that point, and the Gemora is saying that we hear from what we're saying, that really the siman is not simply that they're tied up together, but that we have to give we have to identify the particular kesher that was used to tie them up.
So there again, that kesher has to, the finder has to make sure he doesn't undo the kesher, because if it's going to be a siman.
Oh, the finder's not supposed to do anything to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, so did you finish, Phil, or you're still in the middle?
I finished.
You finished. Okay. So now the Gemara is going to go on. V'hatani. The Gemara is going to now dismiss this attempted proof of Shema Mina. Shema Mina is when the Gemara says Shema Mina, generally it means shall we say that what we learn out over here is the following. Now the Gemara is responding, Hatani, Reb Chia. Gemara says, 1 second, Reb Chia said, blah, blah, blah. So that sounds like we're not accepting the fact that the kesher is, we have a proof that the kesher is the sinner. Let's see what the Gemara says over here. Hatani, Reb Chia. Whose turn is it to read?
Yours, Roy.
But it's my turn, is it?
I think so.
Hatani Rabbi Chaye. But Rabbi Chaye taught in his text of the Brisa that the bundle of documents discussed by the Mishnah refers to Shalisha, Karuvin, Zeh, Bezeh, 3 rolled together. Therefore, there's no indication that our Mishnah considers them not to be the identifying characteristic. Go on.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yes.
Gemara, if so, the Mishnah's case of a bundle of documents also refers to documents rolled together. It is identical to the case of a roll of documents. So what difference is between the two cases? The case of a roll is Kol Had V'Had V'Rosho Dehov Rea, where they are rolled, each one over the top of the other. Aguda, the Ramu, Dori, that where they are placed one on top of the other and then rolled together. And then the Gemara goes into a detail of the procedure for announcing the documents so they can be claimed, which is, so I'll stop there, I suppose.
Okay. Let's see. We have Rashi now. The Damu Ahadode. Where is that? Oh, the Ramu Adode. Yeah. Okay. Again, the Gemara is going through a few steps over here, which I'd like to point out what the steps are. So the Gemara, after the Gemara brought Reb Chia's statement, the Gemara said, 1 second, Ihochi hainu tachrich. The Gemara mentioned 2 cases, a tachrich of shtaros and a aguda. Tachrich shel shtaros o aguda shel shtaros. The did is raise the ox here. The Mishnah says we return them. So the Gemara is saying if the identifying feature is, if the siman is that they are kruchin zeh b'zeh, Gemora says hainu tachrich. I'm not clear what the Gemora's question is. Im kach she'aguda shel shtaros hainu shehu yu shlosha shtaros kruchim yachad. Not just that they are kashur. That'll be the case of tachrich. So the Gemora said this, though, what's the difference really between the two cases now? And the Gemora is explaining the difference between them. In the case of Tachrich, Kol chad v'chad barosha dechabre. Each one of the shtaros is rolled at the end of the next one. And when it comes to Aguda, they're not rolled one end to end. They're not rolled end to end. They're all one on top of the other, and then they're rolled after that.
So basically, the first case is you're rolling the three documents and then tying three rolled documents together. In the second case, you're taking the three documents and you're rolling it into one pile and then tying it up.
Well, they're a pile before you roll them.
They're piled before you roll them. And then you're making one, when you roll them, you're rolling it into one thing that's being tied. The other one, you're rolling up three documents and tying the three documents together. There's three rolled documents into one.
Okay. Okay. All right. It's not 100% clear what exactly is the Gemora is saying that there are two different cases now that we understand.
Right. There is one Rashi on the line Rashi at the end about the Rama Ahadade. They're placed on one thing. They're placed on top of each other there.
Yeah. They're placed on one another.
Even zeh al zeh, you lie one on the other, or cho by its length, alo cho by its length, shel chavero, the length of its friend.
Yeah. I guess the problem is I don't really understand what the Gemora's question was.
I'm not sure it's a question. I'm not sure what. Look, in one case, when you do roll them all up, you're rolling a document. You're rolling three different documents. So you have three rolled documents, and then you're tying them with a kesher. You see that it's three documents. When you're placing one on top of the other, you're seeing one pile that's three documents thick. And does that necessarily mean that you realize it's three documents?
And the Gemora initially rejected the Shema Mina. Gemora said Shema Mina, that Kesher is the siman. The Gemara asks, Hatani Reb Chia. What are you talking about? Reb Chia said, Shlosha kruchim zeh b'zeh. What did the Gemara mean by that? Gemara meant we're not just simply describing what does it mean, takrich shel shtaros, as opposed to a guda shel shtaros. We're telling you what will be a siman in order to claim them. And then the Gemara said, "Ihachi hainu takrich." If that would be so, that's this. It's no different than the. What exactly is this question ihachi all about? Im kach she'aguda shel shtaros hainu sheyu shlosha shtaros kruchim yachad. Not that they're kashurim. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Yeah. Where is it? Where is this din in the Mishnah? It says in the Mishnah on Daf Chaf Amud Aleph. Takri shel shtaros o aguda shel shtaros harei ze yachzir. And the Gemara asks, Kama aguda shel shtaros shlosha kashurin ze b'zeh. Rashi says in the Mishnah, Takri shel shtaros b'krach o ba'aguda. More mefurish, my tfisa b'deluskema, Takri ba'aguda. Reza yachzer, the davar sheyesh bo siman hu, can mefurish b'gemora. Shakli siman, kishayomru habaylim, Bekli kach v'kach mesasi osam became takrich ba'aguda. Harei ze yaksir the davar sheyesh bo siman hu can enforce b'gemora. All right. I think Rashi needs a bit of explanation, and the Gemara certainly needs some explanation over here, but we want to go weiter, so let's go weiter. My makris, let's go weiter. What time do we have now? 8 minutes. Okay, let's see a little further. Maybe it'll become clear later on in the Gemara. Maybe. Okay. Now the Gemara seems like it's going weiter. My makris.
I'm not sure I have the place, Rabbi. Did we turn the page?
My makris.
Yeah, we've been on the new page for a long time. You're on 20B1. 20.
20B1?
Wait a second. No.
Yeah, it's right in the middle of Amud Beis.
We turned to 20B2.
20B2?
Yeah. And we just finished the top, and now we're up to where the Gemara detail. Machris. What does he announce?
My Machris. What does the finder announce to let the owner know that he found them? Minyan. The number of documents in the case of the Mishnah. For example, he announces that he found 3 documents. My Arya Talasa. If so, why does the Mishnah discuss a case of 3 documents? Even if only 2 documents are found, they may also be announced and identified by the Mishnah's method. Ella, rather, Kidamar Ravina, it's like it was said by Ravina, Tiv'a Machriz. The finder announces that he found coins without specifying the number. The number of coins must be provided by the owner. Hachanami here too. Shtare Machriz. The finder announces that he found documents without specifying the number. The number of documents mentioned by the owner then serves to identify the bundle. Therefore, the Mishnah must discuss a case of at least 3 documents, for if only 2 documents were lost, mentioning the number would not suffice to identify them.
Okay, so
Yeah, but he's looking at the concept of the coins being that saying, well, I lost 7 coins. That sort of gives some sort of a simon on it. So obviously, coins you have no simon without that. So they're making the number being the simon, so to speak. With documents, you know.
It doesn't seem you have as much flexibility about the number of documents. You're not going to have 30 documents in a bundle, where you could
Okay.
coins in a pile.
Okay, well, there is Rashi's on these. Should we see what the Rashis say? A few Rashis?
yeah.
Okay, we're up to the My Machriz. What has he announced? Hamotzeh, the one who finds him, My Machriz. What does he announce? What does the finder have to announce? Minyan, the number. Gimel Shtaro, and the 3 documents. The Zeba, this one comes. The Notain, and he gives a siman shekruchim hayoyachad, that he bundled them all as one. So that helps. That he says, I bundle these 3 documents. Afilu, but then the other question was, why don't you announce only 2? Afilu trey, nami, you should announce even if you found 2. Also, you should announce. However, since the ain srich labalim, because it's not, you don't need for the owners Latate a siman ella krichtam, only if it was bundled.
I think what Rashi means is that the simon that they need to give is the fact that they were korach zeh b'zeh. That is the simon. And so since that is the simon, the number of shtaros is not the simon. So if so, why do we have to have 3, even 2? Oh boy, this is okay. Um,
Oh. Hmm. The footnote here says something about finding documents means at least two.
yeah.
So because they'd not be saying anything more than was implicit in the announcement. I don't know.
Okay. It's not such an easy Gemora here. Okay. Okay, let's go to the next Rashi, Kedama Ravina. Who wants to read Rashi?
I don't think we're up to Amar Ravina. We're up to Amar Ravina? I didn't see that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We read Kedama Ravina.
The short.
We read Amar Ravina. Yeah, but we also did the Philo too. We did. Okay, Amar Ravina. So, there is a Rashi on Amar Ravina? Wait a second. Okay, because the Amar, like Ravina says, Banu Mitzios.
The Elu Mitzias.
The Elu Mitzios. So Rabina said this. It's just a quote where he said it. He said
Yeah,
it.
now
He said Mitzios, and what he said is that Shtare Machriz. You have to announce documents. Shtarot Matzati. I found these documents. The Zed Srich, and this one needs Sheomer that it will say so and so. Kach v'kach hayu they were. The kruchim hayu when they were tied up. Hilchot therefore dafka tilta. You had that. That's three.
yeah,
Those become shlosh. So there's three of them about Tari, but about Trey. But if it's only two, meyeda yeda, that it would be known, it would be surely known the miyut staros, that it's a small amount of staros, shtayim, it's only two, the ain minyan simon, and that, and when it's only two, you can't say that the number of documents is a good sign. So it has to only work on the bundling of 3 more for a simon to go. But the number of documents would work if it's a lot of documents, so to speak.
yeah. I think that's the note that Roy was reading from before. Here, Rashi is explaining why, if he would say he lost two, that wouldn't be a simon, because the finder who announced that he found shtaros, lashon rabim, a plural, that means that he found at least two.
Okay. It's
All
time.
right.
Take care. Be well.
Okay, all the best.
All right.
Everybody, have a great day.
Be
Bye,
well,
Phil.
everybody. Be well,
Bye, Lou. Bye, Roy.
See you.
Bye-bye.
That's the one that's on Bava.